back. Yes, good morning, good afternoon. Basically, it's after 12 now. But we are here on this Saturday, getting to the motion. Let me put all my things for the donations. If anybody wants to donate, let's get that going right now. So this is a trending topic, man. EBRO from Hot 97 has been fired, right? That's what everybody's reporting. Everybody is speaking on this, man. EBRO, Hot 97 is no longer. All right, let me put this over here. EBRO, Hot 97 is no longer. Damn, you guys can't see me. They don't see me over there. Maybe I gotta switch it up. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, you guys, 3 in the building. There we go, man. At the Cash App, man. Salute to you, Gumbo. Team Shaw News Boxing in the building. First one in the building is Gumbo Sauce. Now, Gumbo Sauce is official. I'm just waiting on him to send me his official uniform. And then I could put out the content on it. As you see, I've been killing it with the content. But salute, Gumbo. Hope all is well. The snow is on the way up here. Right, we're supposed to be getting it overnight. Yes, hit the like button. Hit the like button, y'all. So the first topic that I'm going to cover, and I'm probably going to be on this topic for a minute, because it ties into gatekeeping. A gatekeeper, old man EBRO from Hot 97, has been fired. That's what reports are saying. But EBRO, who was the program director at Hot 97 for many years, over a decade. Program director, for those of y'all that don't know, the title, let's look the title up, right? We got time today. I'm going to have some fun. Coach Reen is still at the community event, right? I dipped off. Now my neighbors are over there with her. Let's look at our program director. All right, look, we having fun, y'all. We're gonna do the background first of this, right? Thank you. So I'm supposed to hit the like button. 6 in the building. We should have 6 likes, and I should have $6. If everybody gave $1, right, which is not a lot, give 50 cents, right? But if everybody gave $1, I should have $6 in the Cash App or the Zelle. Just $1, man. Dollar in a dream, man. We playing lotto over here. But let's get over here to this So a program, can y'all see that first though before I go? He said, "Hey, where are you? I'm in my studio, book studio session in the library in one of the conference rooms. This is this is a smaller one, but nonetheless, it's still nice. Normally I get the big, large room, but today I said, nah, I don't need to use the board. And I'm just broadcasting. Like Joe said, broadcasting. And you want to podcast? Yeah, I'm on the podcast. Right? So maybe can you guys see that? I think hopefully you guys can see that, man. Let me know if y'all can see that, man. So a program director is a senior leader who plans, implements, and oversees an organization's programs, ensuring they meet strategic goals, staying within the budget, align with the mission, headlining everything from big picture strategy to daily operation, staff supervision across sectors like nonprofits, education, healthcare. Their key strategists managing resources, stakeholders, and performance drive successful value adding outcomes to organizations. So EBRO was the program director at Hot 97 for many years. And he kind of turned into a gatekeeper. He didn't kind of, he was. He controlled a lot about at Hot 97. And in the mix of him controlling things, he also became a on-air personality. Now, when I read the title of a program director, now nowhere in that does it say that they are also a on-air personality. But I think that he, like so many others, wanted to be a star, wanted clout, wanted all these things. And a lot of times the people that they go after those things, that's what they highlight. And I think that another reason why they don't like me, because I throw that in their face. Like that's not my end game. That is not my end game. I'd rather be in the shadows. You see how I was in the shadows for so long? And you guys who are obsessed with that type of angle always try to play me or think you were playing me. Oh, nobody watches you. Maybe they should have, but you see what my thing says now? Now I am growing my listeners and my audience. And the people that are coming over here, typing in and listening, if they're smart, they will continue to listen because I have a catalog of stats, certification stamps all over the game. And I had that since I came into the game. But like I said, the internet is based on an illusion. The illusion of I could be some type of way. He said Jake Paul killed boxing. I'm not talking about boxing right now, but if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Put it in the comment section. I'll just answer that real quick before I get on to the EBRO. The guy that you said killed boxing, he has given a lot of female fighters, especially, and shout out to Raquel Miller. I'm going to reach out to her sister. I got to try to get her on the show. Opportunities, female fighters, opportunities. So you said he killed boxing. I believe the female fighters wouldn't say that. And then I believe there's a handful of active fighters who align themselves with Jake Paul and probably made the most money that they made in boxing. So I wouldn't say that he killed boxing. But, we are all entitled to our own opinions, content. But let me get back to my thesis. Old man EBRO was fired. But old man EBRO was supposed to be in the shadows. He was the program director who turned into an on-air personality. And I think he flexed on a lot of the hip-hop guys. He was flexing on them. But I remember Little Uzi, and shout out to DJ Academics. Maybe I'll use some of his audio. I'm not going to use the video because I think Academics has a team and they'll pull you down. Not when you know what I mean by pull you down. They're My channel is monetized, and some of these guys with the bigger platforms, they make a lot of money, and they feel like if you use their content, you're tapping into their money. That's why I always said the thing about the boxing dudes. I'm like, yeah, you niggas is bums, man. Respectfully, you're not. It's smoke and mirrors with you niggas. Because the niggas that's getting real money on this YouTube shit, they don't move like you niggas. They different. But that's neither here nor there. He says, where Clarissa Shields come from? She's like 47. Where was she at 20 years ago? Is she? I don't think she's 47. Layla Ali's like 40 something, 47. So Clarissa can't be that old. But we're not talking boxing right now. What is your name? Drex? I don't know. There's probably some boxing live streams on right now. But yes, old man EBRO, who was the program director, but he, like I said, he thrusted himself into a position to be like an on-air personality, right? But upon doing so, he always carried himself as the program director. That's why he felt a sense of authority over artists and different people he was interviewing. And I think, like I said, shout out to DJ Academics. You did a great job of highlighting that. But I think the one time that it backfired, it probably backfired many times, but you showed when Uzi was on there and he was trying to expose Uzi. But Uzi, to me, like many other the young guys and people like myself who might get overlooked, but you have your own structure and you have your own unit. That's why I always say 7 people's in here. I should have $7. Everybody just give $1. I don't even ask for the likes no more, because the likes, you guys are programmed not to like stuff, but you've been in here watching, so you're listening, right? Uzi, it's like many others, Jake Paul, since this guy wants to talk about Jake Paul, they built a fan base. And I think a lot of these older guys like EBRO and many other gatekeepers that have titles of positions with power, they were living underneath a rock. And they didn't see the wave coming of people who are independent and got it out the muck, the mud, and now have a audience, a fan base, a support structure, like which I have, right? That's why when all these guys talked about me in the boxing, about views and all that, I used to come on here and show my views. Be like, yo, man, all these people fuck with you, but I got merchandise out there. Been have merchandise. I have goods and services. But yeah, you want to tell me that I'm not doing nothing because nobody watches me. I don't agree with that. I think not only are they watching me, they fear me because I'm not a gimmick. Nobody fucked me. I didn't sell my soul. And I come on here and I say whatever the hell I want to say, how I want to say it. All right? And I'm growing my audience organically. Look, y'all are in here right now. Y'all are in here right now. But let me pause for a second and get to the chat. That's what it's about. So Clarissa Shields, you said she's 47, right? I have to, cater to the chat as well. So let's just look that up. Being that I'm on Google, right? Watch this. Let's look that up, man. There she is, American boxer, right? She's 30 years old, brother. You are way beyond. So 20 years ago, I got to entertain the chat. So your question was, and I'll get back to old man Ebro in a second. Your question was, where Clarissa Shield come from? She's like 47. No, she's 30. So where was she 20 years ago? I believe she was sleeping on the floor because she had a rough upbringing. If you've seen her movie or story. So 20 years ago, she would have been 10 years old. So she might have been sleeping on the floor, living it rough. She wasn't even in the Olympics or any of that yet. But you said, where did she come from? Flint, Michigan, right? Is she a Flintstonian? Right? But here she is right here, Clarissa, right? Who was probably one of the most decorated woman fighters, right? Here's her rundown: 1703 KOs, 4-time undisputed, 19-time world champion. All right. All right. See, I entertained the chat real quick. Smash the like button for that. But let's get back over here to EBRO. Old man EBRO. Now, I put out some literature on him. So I'm going to go to my literature real quick. We're working. How's the content looking, y'all? But you see, I entertained the chat right there. Thank you for that comment, brother. He said, yo, it's me again. What's good? Ja King. What up, Ja? Ja. Yo, I got to entertain the behind the scenes as well. Yo, Ja, if you still over there, remember, that's my video, man. I can't play the music because the music will get the channel jammed up. But you remember the Bobby Brown and Ja Rule song? Yeah, that was my song, man. Remember they did the video and I'm gonna say alleged, right? Bobby Brown was coked out of his mind. And he said, yeah, cause I know you're getting bored dealing with him. I know you miss my thug and my loving, thug loving. Yeah, he was, But shout out to Bobby Brown, right? Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown. But yeah, let me get over here, right, to old man EBRO. We'll get back to topic. The death of a gatekeeper. Because the old man EBRO was the gatekeeper, man. He definitely was a gatekeeper. He had a stronghold on the radios in New York for a long time. A very long time. But he no longer has that. No longer has that stronghold. Content, y'all. Oh man, he said Layla Ali would destroy you. They're from two different eras. They're two different eras. That's not even a fair conversation right now. But I'll get to that too in a second. I just highlight you what's the name. You know, we can multitask over here. We'll break that down for you in a second. Drex 6413, right? We'll break that down in a second. Just let me get back to EBRO. Right? Oh man, EBRO. The death of a gatekeeper. All right. So, EBRO, look what I said, shot news, yes. Shot news. So, EBRO wasn't just another voice on the FM dial. Now, look, these other guys do this shit. They have their monologues, right? This is a monologue, right? Right? This is a monologue, right? It's cool when they do it, right? This is a monologue. So, EBRO, for over a decade, he helped define High 97's morning identity, shaping conversations on the hip-hop culture, politics, and streets. But today marks the end of that chapter after 13 years and countless iconic moments. EBRO in the morning has wrapped up, signaling a shift not only in Hot 97 programming, but in a large soundscape of hip-hop radio. Yeah, see, the internet now, Wave, is the voice. That is why I take streaming a lot serious. I myself, well, not really. I'm gonna be honest. I never overlooked it, but I went a different route. I want to get in my credentials and my work so that when I do come on the internet, whether people listen to me or not, I'm speaking on what I have accomplished. And eventually it's going to take off because I'm going to continue to keep accomplishing things and continue to keep streaming and speaking on those things. But he says fans, critics, and industry heads are already speculating, was this a true firing or result of broadcast cost cutting and strategic reposting? Repositioning. I said reposting because I wanted to point out my post, right? What did I say? He was the program director. So he was in charge of this, and yet alone he is being tossed out. So did they fire him or did he fire himself? What is the real deeper meaning behind this? Because as the program director, he was in charge of these things. Remember, that's why I read what the program director does first. Is this all making sense? Is this all making sense, right? Because I read what a program director does first for a reason. So he is being repositioned by whom? The powers that be. But he was supposed to be the powers that be, right? He's the program director. So did he fire himself, right? Does EBRO walk into bigger platforms, digital, syndicate, or elsewhere? And what does this mean for transitional radio in the era of podcast and streaming? Now, I know all of these guys, everybody, all the hip hoppers, everybody is streaming or attempting to stream, attempting to podcast. So is he going that route too? But I think that's why DJ academics and the guys that really have their foot on this are fronting and flexing hard. And as they should, right? As they should. Especially when the guys like at EBRO, the gatekeepers, the industry guys, overlook the internet. They overlook these guys. Remember, you're a YouTuber. It's just like what I went through with the boxing. And I used to try to cover events. And they used to front on me like, yo, nobody watches you, right? Look, and some of these guys are going to get mad about this, but it is what it is. They say, yo, nobody watches you, but then they would try to throw people in. And they still do it to this day. I watched it this Wednesday. I don't cover events like that. They got to pay me respectfully, right? LLC that. But they would tell me, how many subs do you have? How many subscribers? Yo, we're getting close to 7,000, y'all. Keep subscribing to the channel, share the content, tell a friend to tell a friend. We're almost at 7,000 out the muck. I mean, we're getting there. We're getting there, man. This is real organic. No bots, none of that, right? But they used to always tell me that. And I was in disguise on them. Like, oh, that's what it takes to be successful media. And they'd be like, oh, nobody watches you. And that's when I started taking my receipts. Nobody watches me. You say, okay. But this is the guy you say they watch, but he steals my content. He wants to move like me. This is the guy you say they watch, but I influence him. I have a catalog of this now. And that's why I do what I do when it comes to boxing. This is my character. But my character is real. If you run down on me right now, if one of you guys that trolls me was to come here right now and attempt to harm me, I will shoot you in your face. I would. I won't hesitate. Without a blink of an eye, I'll shoot you right in your face. That's my character. I stand on that. If you attempt, that's why I always say, don't attempt to threaten me on the internet. I jot it down. And when I see you, that's the type of shit I'm going to be on. Like, oh, you want to harm me over the internet. So be ready to be harmed yourself. Right? Content, y'all. Content. Shout out to my brother Gumbo and CW. Gumbo, if you're still in here, man, send me the receipts, the merchandise, man. When you rock your official one-on-one, that's a one-on-one. Nobody will never get another one of those. Official Gumbo sauce. Florida Gators edition. Now, I want to give him the LSU one, but he's To me, I don't get it. You know, to each his own. This is a Lafayette, Louisiana guy, so I'm thinking he'd be LSU. He said, "No, I'm a Florida Gator. I'm a Florida boy." So he has the Florida Gators official zip up hoodie. But you gotta throw that out, throw that on, throw that out, so I can make my commercial. Cause you know I do all my material. These are my stats, man. These are my stats, my merchandise, varsity jackets. That you guys ignored. Yo, and listen, the price of the varsity jackets is up now. You should have got it when it was $350. They have jumped up to another $100. They're $450, customized out. But they was $350. I dropped them last year. $350, right? You waited a whole year and watched. Right? So now they're at $450. Next year they'll be $600. I'm telling you. Next year my jackets will be $600. They might even be like EBRO's Pele. They already are. They already are. But so EBRO, back to EBRO now, right? Let's finish this monologue because it's cool when they do it. Hot 97 is no stranger to shakeups, but losing his flagship morning show and arguably one of his most influential voices is major news in hip hop and urban media. One thing clear, this isn't the end of EBRO's voice, just the end of EBRO on Hot 97 morning. Stay tuned because the next move might be even bigger. Shaw News Boxing LLC, respect the legacy, report the shifts. Now this is a fly thumbnail. Well, look at the thumbnail. This is all AI animated. But he no longer is on the morning show. The morning show, right? Well, the morning show to me, I've been, to me, my era, the best morning show to me at the time, me coming up, listening to the radio when it was a radio type of vibe world. Remember, used to have Ed Lover and Dr. Dre. Then it was Storm Buckwild. I think Storm Buckwild was the shit. They was competing against Howard Stern. Howard Stern is still around. Shout out to Howard Stern. I know his attorney. We always do a lot of work over by his crib, right? Out there in Dix Hills. But it was Storm Buckwild. And that is when EBRO emerged on the scene. Because EBRO always wanted Star's spot to me. They used to always clash. Remember, EBRO was the program director. And he always had a problem with Star. They would clash. And then look what happened. EBRO ended up being Star, so to say. He took over the mornings, right? Well, morning with Cypress Sound and Rosenberg. Old man EBRO, right? But they never could compete against, to me. Now, some of you guys, it all depends. It's just like with this boxing. If you're a top ranked guy or a PBC guy, they never could really fuck with Power 105 to me. They couldn't. Like, that's why I said Star was the man. Star had the shit on Smash. EBRO, it was like you're a Power 105 guy with Charlemagne and Envy and those guys over there, or you kind of Hot 97 with EBRO. But to me, I think Power 105's morning show was a lot better, right? And this is where this is up in the air. Like I said, this is who you go with. If you're top rank or PBC. It was one of those type of deals, right? But what's next for EBRO, man? Because I think he still does have somewhat of a title with Apple Music and Apple and all that. That's how a lot of these gatekeeper guys are, right? Now, this is no shot at Gilly and Wallow, but they're gatekeepers. They're podcast gatekeepers. They are. I see my man Hassan Campbell gets at them a lot. They steal a lot of his stuff, he says. And he probably is right, man. Because Hassan Campbell is a UGK on this. The streaming shit, he's a UGK. He gets it popping. Underground King. right? And a lot of these guys, that's what they do. Rest in peace to Patrick there. This literature is out. Yo, AI is something else. Look at AI. Look, this is the AI version of this. The picture, right? Shout out to my team, man. Look, shout out to my team. That's the real picture. Rest in peace to Pat. There goes Tyrone James. He just fought. He took Jihad Tucker's slot. You know that was supposed to be Jihad's fight, man. November 22nd at the Paramount. Tyrone James got that. Made a lot of money, too. Here it is, another picture. Tyrone James. That's Jackal. This is Jackal, right? That's Jackal right there to the right. Right? Let's just put that out there. I don't know what he's doing. He's in Harlem somewhere. Hopefully he's all well. But that is Jackal. Right? This was the Jackal Fitness Days right here. That is me and Patrick Day throwing the J's up, as always. J's all day. You know, rest in peace to Patrick. This is the Paramount right here after the fight night, man. Patrick went on to go fight Charles Conwell 2 weeks after this. And we all know how that ended. Rest in peace to the warrior, Patrick Day. But look at the AI. AI. And shout out to my team, man. I couldn't believe the picture. I was like, wow, look at the picture. Y'all hooked it up. AI effects on it. And imagine if my teeth was like that now. You guys always talk about my teeth because I chipped my tooth on the dirt bike. And now you guys kill me about my teeth. Right? Or you tend to. It doesn't bother me. It really doesn't, right? Because like I said, I'm still moving and grooving, huh? How's the content looking, y'all? But so what's next for EBRO? Was this a strategic plan? See, I'm just really now getting into like covering like the hip hop and all of that. But if this is anything like boxing, right? I would say it's smoke and mirrors, man. That's why I wanted to run down who he really was. If he's the program director, I know they said, look, the reports. And please, somebody put in the comments, man, that, you know, this is your lane. Like, this is my lane as far as streaming and coming on here talking about topics. But I don't really cover the hip hop like that, right? I'm starting to. Did he get fired as the program director? Right? We can look that up, man. But I got, matter of fact, let me Google search that. Because they said they canceled his show, which he could have been the part of canceling. He's the program director. Look, EBRO get fired as the program director. Let's look up that. Let's see if he did there. All right. Quick AI check. Okay. So when I go to that, look, see, this is the AI. I'll show you where this is coming from real quick. Content, y'all. Man, y'all in here. Thank you, man. Hit the like button, man. Donate to the Cash App right here. Look, dollar in the Cash App. Right. So when we go down, we go out of this. How long have I been on? 33 minutes. All right, we cooking. We go over here. No, I didn't. I went back to the wrong one, man. Wrong one. I'm sorry, y'all. I pulled up the wrong screen. Sorry. All right. And then I'm gonna do the intermission. We'll break down your comment, man. We'll break down your comment. I'll get to your comment in a second, right here. Layla Ali will destroy because you know I'm not talking about that, but I'll get to it. All right. Because no disrespect, you're not a everyday listener, so I don't know if you're just over here to try to mess up the show, right? But I'll get to it, right? So they said that he has stepped down, according to this AI overview, right? Courtesy of Google. He stepped down in 2014, about 11 years ago. He was not fired from that position, right? But now with his show being canceled, he's no longer with them. But like I said, he does still have a position with Apple. Look, right? We can look that up. Look. So is this a play, right? I forgot that was there. They got it for me. Now look. So EBRO holds the key role as global editorial head of hip hop and R&B at Apple Music, managing teams, shaping playlists. So he's still over there. Look, he also maintains his radio presence as co-host EBRO and Mono Heinsohn until late 2000, serving as a major bridge between. So he's still at Apple though, y'all. But he's no longer doing the morning show now. So what does this mean? Like I said, if this was boxing, and somebody that, like I said, is on the academic, well, not on the academics, but this is your genre, you be on it. Is this a play? Because he's still over there with Apple. And I know a lot of these guys now are trying to really turn up on the podcast scene like this. They're doing more of these, right? They're doing these, they're streaming. They're podcasting, right? Because not for nothing, the YouTubers are winning. Now, the YouTube boxing niggas ain't really winning. I gotta call a spade a spade. Some of them are, majority of them are just, they're weirdos, man. They have nothing going on. But the streamers, right? The streamers, the boxing streamers, the guys like, and look, I'm gonna say this respectfully. These guys that I'm gonna name, I actually respect, right? There's some form of respect there. So don't take this as like I'm trying to play you. The actual boxing streamers, and to call you a streamer in boxing is a compliment. Showbiz, winning. Champ side, winning, right? I never worked nothing with showbiz. Because to me, showbiz just now is starting to pop out with his presence on the scene, but he's winning. Champ side, I worked countless fights with Champ side. Champ side is winning. Those guys to me are like streamers with the boxing. Now, after them, there's others. I categorize them in a different frame, right? But streaming wise, showbiz, champ side, definitely winning. Now, when it comes to podcasting or being like a, and I'm gonna say this respectfully because I don't want to offend none of these dudes, but I don't care if I offend them because personally, I don't think these dudes are like that, right? But majority of them, after that, they're scammers and gimmicks and frauds. They're not really, what's the name? The streamers, the guys like the boxing voice, winning. Ness, the thing that I noticed that Ness does, and they might get mad at me for exposing this, is Ness thrives off of constantly switching up co-hosts. Now, I don't know if he's getting these dudes on and being like, yo, if you come fuck with me, you get views, you get subs, and then you can do your own thing. But Ness is another machine, streaming, podcasting, and the boxing. And then you have all the independents. Now, a lot of the independents, I don't really see the growth. I see them, doing what they do. If my man Malik was in here, Malik can tell you I say this all the time. I see them scamming and doing that. But I don't see the growth. See, at a certain point, and look, where's my guy's comment? He said Jake Paul is killing boxing. No, what's killing boxing is these guys that act like they're so big on the internet, but they're not making that move. At some point, when you're that big on the internet, you have 400, 500 listeners every time you go live. That got to start flipping and matriculating over. But with a lot of these guys, it doesn't. Like I said, Showbiz, I watched it. Champs, I watched it. I'm not going to mention some other people's names because listen, I'm tight, right? If I say something about you and you feel some type of way and you do some sucker shit, I'm gonna be on your bumper like, yo, what type of man are you, nigga? What color is your mother, right? I'm gonna be like, yo, that's some sucker shit. Are you a man or you a mouse? So certain people's names I'm not even gonna mention. But some of these niggas, they have no motion. It shows. They're cowards. They're internet cowards, man. And they carry it like it. You could tell they took internet deals. Because we're at a certain point in time, when you have all this algorithm, your platform is that big, you got to make that move. You got to make that transition. But like I said, a lot of these guys aren't doing it. Content, right? But I think this is just a play, getting back to EBRO, because he still has a big title over here at Apple, which we would call like look, I'm going to be nice. I'm not going to say a gatekeeper title, but it is a gatekeeper title. But an influencer, he's an influencer still, holds a key role at global and editorial head of hip hop and R&B at Apple Music. Managing teams, shaping playlists. So that's gatekeeper status. He is just no longer a radio personality, which might have bruised his ego, right? Which might have bruised his ego. But now I'm going to play some of this audio, right, of EBRO breaking down what actually happened. I'm not going to play the video content. Content, yeah. How's the content looking? Run the lights up. All right, let me get this. Excuse me. I should have got something to drink before I came here. I did have a coffee with John Coffee. Oh, the lights is up. Appreciate the lights, man. Now let's get the cash apps up and the Zells. Do that for me. But the lights is up. I got a lot of lights. I see the lights. Thank you. Well, let's go to EBRO. Ibrahim. Now that's Ibrahim is what's the name's brother? That's one of the Mason brothers. Here we go right here. This is the actual audio of EBRO breaking it down.
I made $81. Okay.
Can y'all hear that?
You said it's a scam, but you made.
Subscribe to EBRO in the morning.
Subscribe to EBRO in the morning.
On YouTube.
YouTube.
Told y'all a couple of weeks ago when they tried to run that Andrew Cuomo play on me. Remember that shit? And then they tried, when the Trumpster got in office. Listen, man, I don't capitulate well, bro. Been doing this too long. If you look around all the major media outlets, man. All of them. Look at all of them. They all got to fold up because they all trying to renew their deals, their licenses. They all, well, in this particular situation, we'll get into more specifics another time. Bro's a casino owner. You know those 3 licenses that they got here in New York City for the casinos? The guy that owns the shit owns one of the casino licenses. He gotta raise $500,000, bro. $500 million, excuse me. They need my shit talking anti-Netanyahu, anti-government, progressive shit out the way, bro.
So now they need you out the way. That's what he's alleging. That's what he's saying. That's why they canceled his show. But you're on YouTube. It says subscribe to your channel. So you're not out the way. If you have a voice, you have a voice. Now, all of your peoples that woke up and listened to you on Hot 97, all they got to do is subscribe to your channel and come listen to you. See, I think a lot of times these guys, and I'm not just saying him, but just people in general, when you have a machine behind you, more than meets the eyes. When you got to do it independently, right? I remember these guys. When I've been doing this 7 years. We getting a little spark now, but I know in the beginning, these guys that I done lapped. My kids are lapping y'all now. They used to always talk about how nobody watched me. Nobody's watching you. No, nobody's watching you guys, man. Let's just be real, man. It's been 7 years, man. You don't even have a catalog of stats other than coming on the internet gossiping. Where's the lane change? Where's the growth? Nobody's listening to y'all, man. See, for 7 years, well, longer than that, but for 7 years, what I did was work fights, cover fights, be a part of a fighter getting signed, a couple fighters getting signed and situated, worked fights, developed a platform, came on, showed a lot of my journey and my steps. And now, like I said, I have a book, I have a documentary, I have a lot of things, man, that I actually was showing and doing. And all of you guys that was saying nobody was watching me and people were watching you, you still haven't gone nowhere yet. A lot of you guys is coming on the internet, and I'm speaking on these boxing guys. Y'all are weird. Y'all get into internet beefs that have nothing to do with what you're supposed to be attempting to be. Boxing, whatever, media, journalists, characters, and all that. But let's let old man EBRO finish.
Need me out the way. They trying to get to these bags that these VCs got, raise some capital. They don't really care, like, especially for like a Hot 97 and a WBLS. They don't give a fuck about hip hop or black music or black community. They don't give a fuck about none of that. They give a fuck about access. They give a fuck about being able to bring their little nerdy friends to the concerts because that helps them raise money. They've been trying to get to me for years, bro. Years. But, you know, EBRO in the morning on the YouTubes. Subscribe. Don't get into it. You know what I'm saying? Shayla.
So when I watched this, I'm like, damn, it just takes me back. Shout out to Gumbo, man. Smash the like button. Salute Gumbo's Team Source. When I watched this and I listened, I just see a man that was in position. Now he's independent. He's independent. He sounds like a lot of the guys he shitted on. Right? Remember when he did Star like that? He did people like that? That's what he sounds like. Now he's trying to tell. He's telling. Right? But my whole thing is this with him. You'll be all right. Right? I get on my paid in full. Rico, Cam's character. He said, yo, man, motherfuckers lose their job every day, B. You tough. You be all right, right? Yo, content creators don't do views every day, B. You be all right. You tough, right? How's the content looking, y'all? How's the content look? Look, I did a good hour. Now the floor is open. The floor is open because there's about 2 minutes left for that. But like I said, I think it's EBRO's going to be all right because he still has a significant role over there at Apple. But I wanted to see what happens with EBRO in the morning. Will it still be as big? Will he still be, that the morning show type of guy now on YouTube? We have to wait to see. But I seen like the big dogs that control this. This is their lane. They now, what did my man say to me yesterday? It's no fun when the rabbit has the gun. Right? The rabbit has the gun now. So now we're going to really see how strong he is. Because Academics was on his helmet. I think Academics did like a 2-hour live stream. Shout out to my research team. They be sending me different topics. They sent me that. He says, Gumbo says, he was a boss. Now he's a snitch. How the mighty have fallen. Yes, Gumbo. Bro, you were spot on. He sounded like all the dudes. Man, look, it's just Karma, man. He did a lot of players like that in the when he was in Power at Hot 97. He did a lot of dudes like that. Now it's back on him. It's on him. But you were spot on. All right, we hit. Well, I didn't do an hour. 50 minutes. Now put it in the comment section. Whatever y'all want to ramble about or talk about, man. The floor is open now. The floor is open. Look, I do have something I want to discuss now, right? I'm going to go over here to iJizza, right? I thought I had my IG up on here, man. I got to start getting all my shit up. I thought I had my IG up on here, but I guess I didn't. iJizza. Yo, Dame Dash is back out. It's really not that big yet, but it's out there. Dame Dollars, he was on a show, right? And he was talking about the Diddy 50, right? Gumbo said, pride comes before the great fall. Yes. Wise words of wisdom right there. Well, let's go over here. Now, you guys should be able to hear this. All right. I had that rocking. Yes, I'm not going to play that. Sugar free. Here it is right here.
Never ever wifing a girl that any of my friends smashed. It's not happening.
So why'd you date her after
Because
Jay?
I just told you that. Now you're reading the papers wrong. We all were
Even if he slept with her, why did you go after her?
I just told you I would never. That should tell you something right there. We were both putting in our bid. None of us had scored. That's how it went. So when we were all trying to get Aaliyah, everybody, that was Aaliyah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't him. Just because he tried and gave flowers and got denied don't mean I can't try and win. Obviously, that's what I'm saying. There must be something attractive about what I'm doing.
But then it wasn't just Aaliyah, though. It wasn't just Aaliyah. Allegedly,
I know.
Dame, you went after multiple of his women. Huh? Allegedly. And this was from one of the...
So they're saying that Dame Dash has a track record, right, This was on a podcast that Dame Dash has a track record of trying to take down his friends' girls, but I kind of touched on this yesterday, and I'm gonna follow up on it now, right? I think that's just a lot of dudes. But I'm not saying Dame was guilty of it, but Dame said that he didn't do it. He will never do that. But that's what dudes do. Remember, I was speaking on that yesterday, and I'm gonna speak on it now. You know, we're gonna get on our Mac Docious talk. I was saying how, and I'm gonna just call it what it is: lame niggas. You's a lame nigga. That's a lame nigga move. When you try to pillow talk a bitch or backdoor a nigga and talk about a nigga and then flex. Oh, yo, this nigga is like, yo, you's a sucker. That's sucker activity. But a lot of times when niggas do that shit, it always comes back because the bitch is gonna tell that nigga, man. Right? And that's when you be like, yo, go get that nigga. If that's what he wanna do, go get him. Go get him. He ain't flexing on me. He's a sucker. He's not no man. Go get that money. Right? But that's what they basically was trying to say, that all these niggas be trying to holler at the same girl. Right? They all try to holler at the same girl. To me, that's corny. And now we live in a digital social media world where that's all that goes on. If you really want to come up, and you really on that type of time, get you some females, man. Because all these niggas love to be in a bitch's inbox. All these niggas they all want to trick. These niggas want to drop the bag on bitches. They all do, man. They all do. He said, is this Peter Ray's show? Nah, this is a Sha News show. But thank you, Polly. Polly, what is your name? Polly and Mines? Hit the like button. So apparently Dame, but look, on topic, off topic, Jay-Z and Nas, right? Their beef was over a female. These niggas all sleep with the same girls, man. I guess that's like an industry thing.
Again, you don't know what you're talking about. Choke no stupid ass joke that wasn't around. No, he's a liar and he ran. He's a bitch ass nigga to me. Paul. So again, he ran. We had to fight.
Yes, I just did this. This was what my show was on right here. This was what the show was on today, man. We working. He said back flipping ass niggas. Yeah, Gumbo, these niggas are suckers. These niggas are suckers, man. You know what's crazy, Gumbo? And a lot of them niggas is in the boxing field. Yo, when you watch some of this boxing content, well, you know, I was talking about you last night, Gumbo. Right? I was saying how, you know, me and you was talking during the week. And I was like, yo, man, that nigga's gay, man. I was like, yeah, that nigga got homo tendencies, man. He can't even hide that shit, man. I was like, they be mad at me because they be trying to send them niggas over here at me. And I don't say nothing derogatory or get out of character. But I'm like, yo, the channels where you need to take that to are out here. They're not hiding who they are. They're cool with that shit. Go over there. This isn't the frequency over here for that, man. This isn't the frequency. But I was telling my brother, man, I was like, yo, that nigga's gay, man. And I'm not gay bashing, because it is what it is. That's your preference, man. But there's a lot of you niggas need to just, if Coach Reen was here, Coach Reen would say, man, you like man booty. Yeah, you need to just come out the closet, man. Stop pretending, man. You niggas be on here pretending, man. Sending out the wrong messages and shit, man. Stop pretending, man. You know? Niggas, listen, the music industry, that's why personally, like I'm getting on it now, covering a lot of different entertainment genres. But that's a big reason why I stayed away from music, entertainment, acting, and all that, because I already knew. But truth be told, they've been infiltrated boxing. So now it's like, yo, I just got to do me, man. I have a platform. I built up a real media company for over a decade, over close to 15 years, 16 years, man. So I'm like, I'm established. So I got to speak on these things now. You know, a lot of these niggas, like I said, everybody always wanted to know, yo, you not big. I'm bigger than what you think. I just didn't take no dicks. You know, and they get mad when I get to talking about that shit, man. Like, yo, I remember this one dude. He wanted to be like me so bad, right? Let's be like me, but he doesn't put in no work. He doesn't do nothing, but he always wanted to be like me. And he would try to debate me, but I'm like, homie, you don't do nothing. You're talking to somebody that actually seen all of these things. I've been there and seen another man sneaking out of another man's room in the wee hours of the morning. Right? I talked about this on my platform. That's why these niggas don't even say shit to me, because they know I know. Like, fam, you not right. What are you doing? You creeping out another man's room. Where they do that at, right? Yeah, where they do that at, right? Yeah, listen, man. To each his own, man. It's Adam and Eve, man. If you creeping out of a female's room and all that, I get it, man. Curiosity killed the cat. But when you creeping out of another man's room, right? Talking about, yeah, we was having a meeting. What meeting, nigga? What? Listen, where you from, homie? What meetings is taking place in the wee hours in the morning and you're sweating, right? Yeah, listen, you sweat when you fight. You sweat when you work out. You sweat when you do other things. Who's having a meeting sweating, right? Yo, Gumbo, if you're still over here, you over here, wherever you at, right? When you hit the dispatcher up, or you touch back down and you go and have a meeting, right? You with the dispatcher on some routes or some what's the name? Are you coming out sweating, right? Yeah, are you coming out sweating, right? Well, fuck you sweating for? Nigga, you having a meeting and you're sweating? Was the heat on in there? Fuck you sweating for? Fuck was you really doing, nigga? Oh yeah, it was just having a meeting. Yeah, all right, nigga. I know what type of meeting you was having. I know what you was doing, man. It's all good, man. But don't look. These niggas do that shit and then be mad at you because you didn't do it or you wasn't a part of that. That's why, the real talk. Real talk. He said, my dispatch is a woman. Yeah, but then when you go to have a meeting, because that's what all these niggas always trying. Yo, it was a business meeting. All right. What was y'all discussing? Why are you sweating, nigga? Why are you creeping out another man's room in the wee hours of the morning talking about it was a meeting? Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right, man. These niggas, yo, listen, man. It goes down. Look, niggas talking about it goes down in the DMs. Yeah, I bet it do. It goes down somewhere else too at these meetings, man. But hey, what do I know, man? Content though, man. This is all content. But yeah, they've been infiltrated the boxing. Right? It shows, man. It shows, man. Like, yo, what's the line that my down south brothers use, right? They call damn. Put it in the comments, man. It starts with an F. Down south region niggas use it. Down south, Midwest, when a nigga's not official or not solid, we say solid official. They say something with an F. Flawed, that nigga's flawed. Right? Every region has it different. Like my cousins in Cali from the Turk, they'll be like, yo, that nigga's a mark. Yeah, he's a buster. Yo, he got a lot of buster tendencies, man. He's a mark. That nigga's a mark, man. Yo, down south, they use the F word, man. Is it flawed? Flawed? Gumbo, man. Put it in the comments, man. Gumbo, if you still in here, man. Down south niggas use another term, man. When a nigga's like, when a nigga's he's not it, man. Niggas is shaky, man. And that's what the internet consists of, that, man. It's a lot of niggas that be on the internet. They be real niggas on the internet. And then you run into these niggas in real life. They be, I want to use the down south flawed, right? They be marks. Yeah, they be busters. Like my man Sub-Zero will say, them niggas be cartoons, man. So once I've been in the industry for a minute, man. And I'm not a cartoon nigga. I'm not a mark. I'm not a buster. I'm not Floyd. So I don't mix well with these niggas. D and the booty ass niggas. There we go. There we go. Thank you, go. Yeah, but I don't mix with them niggas, man. Them niggas don't really like me, man. Because look, the reason why they really don't like me is because the women like me. Yeah, I get around. I be at these events, right? And I cover these events, man. Look, I go there just like this, no shave, right? Look, I won't have a shave like this, right? But listen, I bet you I'll be clean. I smell hella good. I be at these events smelling good, looking good, feeling good, right? And one thing about me, I have my real light, I glow. So when I come in, I'm a glow. And I know how to talk to people. I talk to people, I network. These guys be in there stinking. Real talk. They be stinking, man. Because when you look, I don't give a fuck what you have on. When you sell your soul, I want y'all to catch this. My show is up, so I'm just kicking it with y'all now. When you sell your soul, you could be in a $10,000 tailor-made suit, but you will stink, right? You will stink because your soul is dirty, right? You can have on top of the line cologne and all that, but you'll be funky because your soul is dirty, right? I come in there. I think what was one of the last events I covered? I think I might have went in there with trying to think. What did I have? I just had on some good smell goods. I cleaned up good, but I needed to shave all of that. If you would have seen how I was breaking the women, you would have thought we was at a Nelly concert. Drop down and get your eagle on, girl. These niggas be watching that. Look, Gumbo said the D and the Booty Boys. Yeah, they be watching that. Yeah, them niggas be like, you ever used to go to parties back in the day, right? Coming up, or the club, the lounge, whatever, and you be in there getting it in with the females. And the nigga be watching you, watching the female watch you. That's how these niggas be at these events, man. These niggas is weirdos, man. Straight weirdos, man. And the boxing industry is filled with that now, man. Hip hop been like that, man. If you know, you know. The hip hop entertainment world been like that, man. You know? You got to go to those meetings, man. You got to go to those rooms and be a D in the booty boy. Yo, content, man. How was the show today, though, man? How was the show, man? I'll be back on later. I'm taking it to the crib, man. Let me do the weather check. We on deck for 11 p.m. tonight, man. But they look like the storm is coming through sooner. If the storm comes through sooner, they're gonna definitely try to call us in earlier. Yeah, see, this is showing 7. But from 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, all the way up into 10 o'clock, we're looking at snow. So I probably won't be giving y'all no content. That's why I'm trying to get my stream and all that in now. And I'm about to go get me something to eat. Let me just see where the team is at. I think that event is over now. Hey, are you guys still up there?
No, we left already. It was cold.
Yeah, it was cold. All right. I'm heading to the house now. Did they eat?
Narita had a hot dog.
Yeah, they had hot dogs and hamburger. What, in the size next door?
Yeah.
All right. I'm heading home.
All right. Is there anything out there or no?
What, to eat? Well, I'm saying, what you guys want? Well, you got the curry chicken. Narita said she had curry chicken.
Oh.
Yeah, she go warm that up. Curry chicken.
The black chicken.
All right, I'll be at the house in a second.
All right.
Yeah, we got some good curry chicken, man. Wagwan. Right? I just remember that, man. Yeah, I'm about to break this shit down. You know, salute to everybody that was rocking with me. Damn. I missed that. My bad, y'all. My bad. But as y'all can see my setup, look. I'm over here rocking and rolling. Hit the like button. Right? We about to get up out of here. Gumbo said, I slept in Trenton, but now in North Carolina got away from that snow. All right. I swear if I hear a smoke detector or ankle monitor beat, man, what are you talking about, man? If you don't get your weird, yo, you're weird. Yeah, are you a D in the booty ass nigga, man? What is your name? Veteran? Are you a D in the booty ass nigga, man? Gumbo be on the move, man. Gumbo be on the move, man. Yeah, get him up out of here, Gumbo. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. I don't know where I'm gonna sleep, but I think I'm plowing in Greenlawn, man. So, you know me, I'm gonna find a hole somewhere. Cause we ain't coming home tonight, man. We ain't coming home tonight. I got my vessels ready to go, man. I just got to jump in there and be ready. But that's what I was just seeing right now. I'm gonna get all my supplies and everything ready. My little care package. Cause like I said, if it stops snowing tomorrow at 10 a.m. in a perfect ideal world, we could mop that up in a couple hours. But they're gonna keep us probably at about 5, 6. You know, this is the season that I hate, white gold season, because they try to overwork us. They don't know when to let us go home. They call us in too early. One thing I miss about the old regime, like when I first was in the field many, many years ago, they didn't play that shit. They kept us, but when they called us in, it was time to get busy. The newer regimes, they'll have us, they'll burn you out. They'll have you come in, right, and ride around, right? You ride around for hours on hours doing nothing. And then when it's time to get busy, you're burnt out. Like, yo, why are we riding around? We're not battling no storm. There's nothing going on. You know? But, you know, you got to adapt and make the adjustments. Content, though, y'all. Look at my setup, man. Came a long way. Look, I do the quick wrap around, walk around. Look, this room is decent, right? Say, quick wrap around. Got my table right there. Right? Say it's decent. Right? It ain't as big as the other one, right? But it still serves the purpose. I think this is the room I had my homegirl in, Shantae. It was in this room when she pulled up that day. They want y'all to look for snow. Yeah, man. 4 inches in New Jersey. So that's not really a bad storm, man. Yeah, you could mop that. Look, yo, truth be told, right? 4 inches ain't a lot of snow. 2 inches ain't a lot of snow. Two inches of snow, the salt really takes care of all that, man. But it's up though, man. We out the door. Appreciate everybody. I did an hour and 25 on the behind the scenes. An hour and some change over here. You know, content, man. How is the content looking now, man? All right. Showtime Shaw News Media, marketing management consultant agent. You know, you do have options, man. This is the Source Experience.
Hey guys, this is Tiana Tuimuhelua. I'm a top-ranked knockout, and I want to give a shout-out to Sauce Talk Podcast.
Thank you. You know the vibes.
Shout out Showtime Shaw News, y'all. This is Kyle Mellon. Holla at me.
Shout out to Shaw News, the Source Experience. Have a good day, buddy.
Yep.
Yo, what's up? Joe Harris Boxing with the Source. Source Experience. But what? But what do I know?
Yeah.
This is your boy Jamel Simplify Herring, and I'm with the best in the world, the best from Long Island, the Sauce Talk Podcast. Hey, we doing big things. Shout out to everybody out there in LI as well. Simplify, salute.
Yes, you know the vibes.
Hey, this is Coach Larry Wade, IBL Champions. Hey, I train professional boxers, and you with Sauce Talk Podcast. You don't want to miss anything that he puts on you.
Appreciate you, champ. You know the vibe.
Yeah.